everybody, welcome on back to Kuso Grande, the bad video game tournament. Radamaford, are you serious that the NSA tried to hire you through a Twitch ad? Are you serious? Okay, NSA patooties over there. Let me just go ahead and say, I do not approve of you sponsoring this stream. There you go. I do approve of you giving me ad money, but no, I'm gonna go ahead and de-advertise and say, don't join the NSA. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Yeah. Shh. Kuso Grande is back, by the way. We are going to go into the first game of the winners bracket round 2, Reoccurring Nightmares, New Game Plus. You know, in the past for Kuso Grande, we have brought back Kuso Classics, and I thought, I love that. I love bringing back games that we've seen on the tournament before, but at the same time, I get tired of seeing the same levels over and over and over again. So instead, with Reoccurring Nightmares New Game Plus, we are bringing back games and starting in the middle of the excitement. And what better way to get started with this round than having one of our more knowledgeable of the Kusoge out there come in and share his love. So please welcome on in GM Kondan. Kondan. Hey.
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm doing fine, right? Let's see how they're going to be doing.
Oh yeah, I actually unironically love this game, but this is one of the games that I gave out that after the match got a rage quit. Like I'm gonna swear to say exactly what it was because It was worth it, right? They told you not to give you that Euro shit, and then left the server on Discord immediately. And it makes me so happy. It's so funny that happened. I don't know, yeah, usually I try to give games that I find have some sort of joy, and I honestly, unironically like this game. But I have also learned that when I give a game out that I love, it's usually a game that other people hate. So, you know, I realize that my love of this game is very one-sided.
I'll tell you what, right? There's a lot of things to really like about this game. There are a lot of things that you really shouldn't like about this game.
Okay. So
what
is the game?
So the game is the Smurfs for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and we are starting in the middle of the action, right?
We are. Yep.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they have been given a password in order to get everything ready. Let's go ahead and let them know that they can stream so that...
Yeah, so I think we'll see if they're ready yet. I mean, honestly, this is a bit early, right, with everything that's going on. And I think Gene said like 30 minutes. But we can sit here and talk for a while, right?
30 minutes? Oh my gosh. Actually...
No, that was like 12 minutes ago, you know, so depending on, they might be starting to get ready. I show them all as offlines, both Gene and Son.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this time to reset Crappy, you know, so we can deal with the timer issue.
Yeah. Oh, what is there to talk about? I know that this past week we had Don't Make Us Bored canceled. Yeah, and we will be having it this next Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I'm actually not traveling anywhere. I'm just going to be staying here because the week after that, I begin traveling on the 1st of December up through the 7th. But I believe that you've got something special planned on the 30th. At least somebody was telling me that you've got a game prepared for Don't Make Us Bored that is going to make me happy.
I don't think I don't know if
Time
that's...
Stalker?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
All I
I do
had to
have
say
one
was
that you'll
Time
love.
Stalker, and there we go. Okay.
Yep, I know what it is.
I will be getting some sort of test earlier in the day, a medical test. They want to check. They want to check more liver stuff. So I'm going to be going into the hospital, and apparently it's like 2 hours of them pumping stuff through me. So I hope that I'm like mostly conscious when I get back. I will still plan on doing it because I want to do something before I go get on an airplane. The test came back for Kuso. Oh no!
And then the week after that, we're gonna have to cancel because neither one of us are gonna be.
Yeah, where are you gonna be?
Work.
Wait. You're gonna work at 7 p.m.?
I have to travel for work.
Oh.
So I am going to be in Ohio that whole week, so I can go look at some machines. And I was originally trying to do this next year, but my boss told me I should just go do it now because, you know, there's funding to travel now. And so I got to do it.
Heck yeah.
And so, you know, the nice part about that is I do have family in Ohio, right? So I'm going to get to see them, and I've got some friends in Ohio that I'm going to get to see.
Okay.
But, you know, I have to work there, right, for that whole week.
Yeah.
And that means because I don't have a personal laptop, right, I can't do Don't Make Us Bored.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, still, really good that you get out of the state a little bit, go and see, what, Cincinnati or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the suburbs of Cincinnati.
I've never been to Cincinnati.
You know, honestly, there's some okay stuff there. You're not missing out on a whole lot.
Basically, what I hear is that it is a nice place that it's not really exciting. Not a whole lot going on over there.
There is definitely some nice areas of Cincinnati. There's some bad areas, but there's some nice areas of Cincinnati. All down by the river is real nice. And but if I had to think of like, is there a compelling reason to be like, you know what, you should go to Cincinnati? I can't really think of one.
Oh, by the way, Corndan, I don't think I asked you. Did we have somebody do an audio for us today?
Gene is doing audio.
Perfect. Well, it looks like Gene Genie is streaming, and some girl is probably going to go live in just a little bit. We are definitely early, and whenever there's a tube and bin game, there's a little confusion. That's just life. But Corndan, have you had a game tube and binned?
We have not.
What? Oh my gosh, when is it gonna happen?
No, I've been pseudo involved with a tube and bin, right?
Okay.
Because, and it wasn't my game, when we did, was it King Fu, right? I had to get all that set up, right, for Metric, right, because it was his choice in game, right, as one of the revenge games.
Oh, yeah.
And so technically, right, I mean, if we're talking about it, I guess I was the GM on task for that, but it wasn't really my game.
I love it. Technically, I was the GM, but technically it was Metric. Metric got tube and bin.
It was Metric, and so all I did was just get it all set up for him.
Yeah, that was one of the legendary Kuso bins.
You know what?
Yeah. Occasionally we have something that just kind of gets a casual bin, but yeah, that was like double dunked. Okay,
if there was something that, you know, we could make sure that the order was set right, you know, that game wouldn't have been tube and bin. That was the only problem. Like, tracking it was a nightmare. Right? Everything else about that game was like a perfect game for Kuso Grande. It was great.
Yeah, it was.
You know, in general, right, I do my best to play as much of any given game as possible, right, to see if I can cause them to soft lock and stuff like that, right? Yeah. But that's not saying I always succeed, and you know, so far I've been lucky, right? But I also, you know, like when we're talking about games that are more likely to cause that, like, I don't do a lot of bootlegs generally, right? I don't do I do a lot of PC stuff, but right, those don't tend to get a lot of like soft like tube and bin sort of soft locks,
Except
right?
for
They're
one that
just
I gave out in it was either the original Kuso Grande or the second one that it, got tube in before the tube and bin even existed. It was so long ago, but it actually works now with the current version of DOSBox, so that's
we
exciting. Maybe it'll
have
come
done a
back.
lot. I've done a lot of work to make sure as many things as possible work.
Yeah. And thank you, Corndan. It's
Right? Like
great.
there's a lot of people think that this is just easy, right? You just throw this together, go download RetroArch or BizHawk or something, and throw it all together, right? And boom, it works. We don't do anything. Everything works great. We're done, right? I mean, that's kind of what people assume, and that's not really the case, right? There's a lot of work on the back end that goes into making this run as smoothly as possible.
Yeah. Honestly, seriously, all of the GMs have put a lot of work in. And even the games that do get binned, sometimes a lot of work had been put into making sure that those function the way that we want. And still, you just never know with Kuso Grande.
Inevitably, right? These things happen because these things happen, right? I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it, right? And no matter how much testing you do, I mean, come on, look at all of the glitches and everything that are in major AAA games where they've done testing and they still haven't tested by everyone, right? So something inevitably breaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so no matter what, like we think we can do the best testing we have. I can play it for a couple hours. I can give it to a couple other GMs. I can play it for a couple hours. And then the next thing you know, somebody breaks it in 4 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. I honestly, Corndan, you've done a lot to make sure that things run smoothly with Don't Make a Sport as well. Let's be honest. I couldn't do it without everybody who's involved. Thank you so much, everybody who has helped. I used to try to do it, and that is why there were games that lasted like 5 minutes for Kuso Grande.
And you know what? I mean, to be honest, right? Once again, we do a whole bunch of testing, right? I've given out a game that was beaten in like 12 minutes, right? And you know what? It took me most of an hour. I was like, oh, it'll be fine, right? Bam, 12 minutes. And sometimes, people just or games where you're like, this will only go like a half an hour and nobody makes it out of the first level, right? And
Yep.
you never know right until the right end, like until people start playing it, like what games sort of connect with somebody or not connect with somebody as the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not much you can do. So question chat, did we ever figure out how to grab the rope in the red planet? And the answer is yes, but I don't remember it offhand.
I just remember that it was overly precise.
Yeah, it is like a stupidly precise, like jump and right and something else, and you like have to hit it on the right pixel or something like that. If Jeff were here, Jeff would know right off the bat.
It's hilarious. Seriously. Like, I love games like that because how many people have seen Planeta Vermelha?
I mean, so part of it is like, I like that sort of stuff because, hey, this is great, right? I also hate it at the same time because, like generally speaking, if there's a problem or someone has, like, I can generally go find a long play or something for what I give out and be like, oh yeah, this is what they're supposed to be doing, right? And the games that Jeff finds, generally, you're just like,
there is no video.
Yeah, what do I do if there's a video that only 6 people have seen and that's the only video on it?
Yeah. Hefty Smurf, you're going to free them. Yeah, Hefty Smurf. We call you that because you're a fatty. Yeah, fatty boy.
So
that's okay, so am I. I've got fatty liver. My liver's a Smurf.
While they're getting set up, right, we gave them a password for, a part of the game we've never seen before here. And that is the passwords for the cave, right? So you can see the attract mode on some girl's screen showing off the cave.
Now, how far into it?
Well, it's about halfway through the game.
Okay.
So the right, the other thing that we've given out before in the source, if you've seen the gauntlet, right, the snow, right, like the avalanche level, that's most of the way through the game. So originally I was going to do that, but I figure this is, we're like, they're likely to get through that and then finish the game. So, right, they're unlikely, like, here to basically finish up the game.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the final act apparently is Act 13.
15 or something like that.
Something like that. This starts on level 9, the cave, which I actually have never seen the cave. I don't know what this level is.
Yeah, see, I know. It's a big maze level.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Trent's asking, did I tell him why I make him jump higher this time? The answer is no. Right, I told him the truth. I couldn't find a manual, and so good luck.
They better not be in chat
because,
as well.
And you know what? If they are, right, whatever. Like, if that's they're good about it. I don't expect them to be in chat. So I basically just said, here you go. Right. Good luck with this because I don't know anything about it.
Okay, just checking to see if Jeannie is ready. Some girl is. Oh.
I mean, they could lose. They might win. Who knows what's going on here? It's gonna be great.
Okay, I am doing the countdown, everybody. Good luck to the players. Chat, I need y'all to spam all of your favorite Smurf-themed emotes. If you got mushrooms, if you got blue guys, if you've got what? Caves?
Spam all of your
Bats.
smurfing emotes.
All of your smurfing emotes, yeah. There we go. If you got bats and lanterns and caves, or yeah, blue is definitely the way to go, though. Anything small, yeah, Toadette is a mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raindrops, that's good.
Yeah. So they're at Act 9. It's the cave, but like from a time standpoint, it's probably about halfway. It's like halfway through the long play, more or less. Right. The long play goes for a little more than an hour, so we're at like, if they had like perfectly good play, we're talking like a half an hour to beat the game.
Oh yeah. Now, if you haven't seen Smurfs before, this is a Super Nintendo game made by Infogrames, and it came out in Europe. Infogrames, by the way, I love their art style, but their gameplay, especially on Super Nintendo, suffered.
It's really, not great. Like,
extremely difficult for, like, oh my gosh, the Tintin games are so freaking hard.
Except to that point, right? Prisoner of the Sun, it provided the best gauntlet state I've ever seen.
The vulture one?
Yeah, where the first thing they did was jumped off.
Well, I gave them the controls, and that one of the buttons was jump, and both of them tried it immediately and died immediately. And
I know, it was the very best thing about it.
Honestly, Prisoners of the Sun, I feel like it had a lot of bold design choices that, for the handheld game, for Game Boy Color, worked out pretty well. But it didn't work out for Super Nintendo, yeah.
I actually think it sort of worked out for the Super Nintendo. Like no lie, I really do. Like I think that there's a lot about it, right, and how it's set up and how it plays, right, that I think is a pretty good thing, right? Like I think that they did a lot of good setup. I think if you kind of follow, right, if you've ever read like the Prisoner of the Sun comics and all that, it actually follows that all pretty well.
Yeah, it does.
Right, so I think in the whole way that they've put all this together, right, I think from that standpoint, Prisoners of the Sun, they did a really good job with that, of translating what 1010 was over to that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then they did some weird things about it, and some of that actually comes into play here, too. Right, and so I don't know, maybe it's just an Infogrames sort of thing.
I think that what happened with Infogrames is that everything they did was too difficult, or just not obvious enough. They didn't give visual cues to help people understand what they were supposed to do or where they were supposed to go. And when you have a maze in the dark with a lighting mechanic, here's the deal. Donkey Kong Country 2, I believe, managed to do that with underwater levels. You had the stupid flashlight fish, which I hate because it always shined directly at the screen whenever you turned around, and it hurt my eyes. But, you know, it still had bananas leading you in the correct direction. You know, there were the visual cues to help you out in that maze. This, no, you're not getting any cues. It's a maze through and through, and there are going to be like plenty of places that you'll probably end up at again over and over, and it's confusing.
Actually, I mean, so the one thing I will say that I kind of appreciate, right, about this, and 1010's worse about it than this is, that there's a lot here, like on the maze, like where it's more evident about what you should be doing, right? Like now that we're kind of in the second-ish sort of area of the maze, we're not going to go backtrack to the first area of the maze.
Yeah, which
right,
on Tintin, at least Tintin in Tibet, you had to go back to specific areas. Yeah, in fact, the whole thing was a giant loop.
Yeah, and so I think that there's some aspects of that here, right, that don't feel as bad in that respect.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's still really bad. I'm not like,
oh yeah,
being like, oh yeah, this is so good. No, it's not, right?
There are like trolls that I would say are good. Yeah, I would say that most people playing this would get extremely frustrated because of how BS some of the things are. With that said, I still have fun with this game, even with how frustrating it is. I believe I've beaten the Game Boy version of this, which again is superior to the SNES port. But yeah, this version is extremely, extremely difficult.
You know, but at the same token, it is real difficult.
Genie is through the first part of the cave onto part number 2 and immediately dies. Yeah.
So, like, I really appreciate, there's a lot of good things I appreciate here, right? The artwork in this is so good. The music is so good. Like, so visual presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is super amazing on this. And right, I'm even willing to argue maybe
I love this
maybe
game
some
so
of like
much.
the top in the Super Nintendo era. Now, I mean, this came out in like 1994, so I mean, yeah, it's like the end of the Super Nintendo era, right? But like, there's so much of this that's just really good. But I think it suffers from like the same issue from like rentals, right?
Yeah.
You need to make it hard so that people keep playing your game.
At the same time, you know, old school NES games, you generally expect, you know, even with difficulty, it's probably a 2 or 3 hour game. Infogrames games on the Super Nintendo, like what, Tintin in Tibet took me about 12, 13, 14 hours.
I mean, if you don't know what's going on, sure.
Well, that was me playing through the entire game, Cornden, and I knew, yeah, I guess I didn't know a whole lot about what was going on, but it took me about the same amount of time for Prisoners of the Sun. Like, they are not trivial games at all. They're very difficult to get through, and, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say that one thing that makes them a little bit more manageable with that is the password system. It's just that a well-designed game would usually have passwords a little more commonly than in Infogrames games. Simply put, you have to beat a few levels in order to earn a password, and if you don't, we're going to see this cave stage a lot.
So I expect that we're going to see this for a while, right? But we're not going to see it. I will give them a note just as the general reminder they can use any other passwords they find.
Yeah, but it's not until stage 13 that they get another password, and this is stage 9.
I'm aware.
Do you think we'll see that far?
You know what, I do, and here's why. I mean, when we look at this, Genie's been a solid competitor since Kuso6rande, right?
Okay.
Super consistent. Some girl won last year,
Yes.
right? So we're talking two players that have done a pretty good job of kind of handling how everything gets done, right? And basically every dumb thing we throw at them, right? So from that standpoint, I absolutely think that this is possible. I mean, do I think if we started them from nothing, would they get to 13? No. Right. Do I think that coming from here they will? Yeah, I do.
I don't think so. I'm going to say we won't see another password.
I mean, that might be a possibility too. Like that's like you said, like that's the problem with Infogrames stuff, right? In this era.
Yeah, honestly, some of the levels in Infogrames games, especially when you get sort of late game, they get a little less consistent with how difficult they are. And I would say that there is a good possibility that the next level or two they could fly through. But at the same time, I haven't seen them in this version of the game. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, and well, I mean, so you have seen, right, what the next password looks like.
I mean, what? Regular Smurf, Greedy Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Smurfette?
No. So the next one is the Avalanche level.
Oh, yeah. Is that the Descent?
Something like that. It's the one that's like the Lion King styled level, like, when you're running from the wildebeest, you're running from the Avalanche, and you're on a sled.
We've given that as a gauntlet state. It's amazing. It's impossible. JK, it's not impossible. It's just really frustrating until you learn what the game is trying to teach you. That's the thing. Like, the game often, in some of the unique gameplay styles, they try to teach you something that honestly no other game has already taught you. So there's a lot of just figuring out like core mechanics of how to stay alive in those sections. Tintin in Tibet or Prisoners of the Sun, especially with the weird condor level where you have to hang on to the condor's feet, does the same thing. And it's like, why does left and right make me go up, and up also makes me go up a little different, and down doesn't really. I don't recall Corndan. It's weird how you're supposed to control that stupid freaking game, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense until you've played it a lot. And that's what happens with Smurf stages. This one is a little bit more straightforward. It's a platformer, y'all have played platformers.
Oh yeah, and this one is, I mean, in general, it's a little bit more straightforward. What's interesting like this, especially on like where Genie's at, it does have like secret areas you kind of have to get through to like complete the level. And the game does actually do an adequate job of trying to like guide you to where you should be, right? But the problem is the game has ruined you for so long, right? Up until this point, you don't trust it.
Not at all. However, Corndan, I want you to know the guy who made the music for this also made the music for Fantasia on Genesis, which is
also good.
No. It is a pile of butts, that music, okay? It's absolutely crap-ticulous.
I don't mind the music in Fantasia.
Did you make it out of the first stage?
Yes.
It's
so
crap.
Are you having flashbacks?
And it's also
yet?
Tchaikovsky.
Are you having flashbacks yet to the Yak level of Prisoner of the Sun?
Absolutely. The Yak level was a little bit tricky because there were bulls in the way that you had to trick into moving. I'm not sure if we're going to get that here, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some stupid mechanic you have to learn.
It has that same sort of feel. It really does.
Is there Tchaikovsky and Fantasia? Asked Amazing Toaster. I think Fantasia is almost exclusively Tchaikovsky. One little touch with this game, by the way, is that They actually had the various Smurfs throughout the game. You know, you don't play as only one Smurf the entire time, you know?
So notice at this point in time, right, we've switched from Brainy Smurf, right, who was in the cave, right, to Hefty Smurf, who you actually play through for most of the game.
Yeah.
Most of the levels are Hefty Smurf.
He does not look that hefty, though.
Well, I mean, look at all of them. Like for a Smurf, he's Smurfing huge.
He's the same size as Brainy Smurf.
He's ripped.
I mean,
ripped? You can't tell. Yeah, you can't tell. I mean, sure, right?
Yeah,
but he is
that layer
totally
of fat. Maybe there's lots of muscles.
He's like not ripped like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? But he's ripped like, you know, like the world's strongest man sort of thing. There's a lot of muscle under there.
See, I'm looking up Hefty Smurf, and I'm really hoping that it's fine to look up pictures of Hefty Smurf.
Well,
okay,
I mean,
it seems fine so far. Yeah. Mostly. Not that one. Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay. This one's good.
I'm pretty certain in the sort of realms you hang out in.
What, right? Google Images? Yeah.
Looking up with what I presume is in your Google search history, looking up Hefty Smurf is probably not a good idea.
Well, too bad y'all gonna get to see him in just a second, because it's very, very important what I have found and what I bring to you. I swear. Yeah, look at this Hefty Smurf. Look at him. Doesn't even have a neck. But oh, he is there just absolutely rocking those muscles, you know? He had a gun. Oh crap. I'm sorry. And a heart tattoo, you know, good old Hefty Smurf. That's dedication, whoever made that. Dedication to a joke. I can appreciate
joke,
that. Thank you.
Or
it's a joke. It's a joke.
You're hoping it's a joke.
It has to be a joke. It better be. So, yeah, honestly, I love Infogrames and a lot of the games that came out. They're flawed. They're not great, but they are, you know, they are a lot of fun. You know, we had the Tintin games, Lucky Luke. They also did some of the Asterix and Obelisk games. I feel like those are some of Infogrames' better
those are probably
games.
The Asterix and Obelisk are really good. I legitimately like those games, right? Even on inferior sort of systems, like the Asterix and Obelix on the Super Nintendo, like, are really good, right? And the Genesis, they're pretty good. But even on like the Master System, they're actually really well done.
Yeah, everything that I've played with that specific IP, I would agree, was enjoyable for me. But apparently, you know, early on, they started mostly with Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64 games. This company has existed for a long time. They worked on Bubble Ghost for Atari ST and Amiga, by the way. So, yeah, it's, you know, they were old school, and the company still exists and still is making games. They've been absorbed. I believe they're part of Atari now. If I'm that, or they absorbed Atari, one or the other. They just absorbed each other's, and like two bubbles in a drink when they press next to each other, and then bam, one bubble. Like that. Yeah, the company also made Draken, so everybody knows the kind of games that they made. I mean, they tried strange and different genres, and they tried things that were very experimental. And yeah, Smurfs here looks very straightforward right now in this cave section, but it gets very different later on and earlier on. Like there are a lot of things that you can look at and say, this is a neat idea that didn't work out.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, right? You know, I think to the point that some of the people have made in chat, right? That, you know, if you were in Europe, right, this IP is more prevalent, right, over in Europe. So a lot of people had this, right? You know, maybe, right, where we're complaining about the experience, right, of all of this. If we'd played it all the time, we probably wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah, yeah. I actually think if I had played this as a kid, like, I didn't really care for Smurfs, but I'd probably be like, this is okay.
I don't think, I mean, I don't think this is a good game. I think the difficulty and some of the mechanics, right, are kind of what drives it into a good game, or not being a good game, right? At the same token, right, like everything about this otherwise, like, not so bad.
Aesthetically, this game is really good, and honestly, if you can make a game that looks and sounds good, you can almost get away with terrible gameplay. Like, that'll make people a lot more patient. I don't know, if you put enough icing on crap, some people won't notice until they dig into it.
I mean, I don't even think in this case. Well, and so actually, in full translator, right, this isn't Ocean yet because they didn't buy Ocean until like 1996. So this is still Infogrames. And I'll tell you what, right, there are versions of RoboCop that I'll even sort of accept, right, as being almost okay.
Yeah. But I'd rather have an ambitious but bad game rather than a generic okay game. Be ambitious. Do something that, you know, not everybody else is doing. Right, you know.
People remember stuff like this, right? You know, for good or bad, right? Whatever, like.
I would say at this point, it still is appearing fairly generic for the viewers at home. Don't worry, it will change up. You will see a different gameplay styles, which is what both makes and breaks this game.
But I think there's a lot of this, like, where you go, okay, you know, like, in general, like, but you remember, like, hey, this looked good, right? You know, this looked good, this felt good.
Yeah.
You know? And so you remember games like that. You remember, or you remember absolute train wrecks, right? You remember Bubsy 1, you don't remember, like, the new Bubsy.
Yeah, it's true. Well, like, I can imagine the new Bubsy, but it just looks so boring.
But that's my point. Like I know what it looks like because I had to play it because I promised NPC if he bought it, I would play it. Right?
Yeah,
and so
yeah. Well, I mean,
you know,
the people who worked on the graphics absolutely did a fantastic job.
They did a job.
It resembles the comic and the cartoon. It captures a lot of the fantasy elements of the Smurfs. The music, absolutely fantastic. I would say that literally any executive who saw this being made by their company would be happy. Why? Because executives know nothing about video games, or at least didn't know anything about them back when this was being made. They just knew, I have to make our client happy and make sure that they're happy that they gave us this license. And, you know, I imagine that the people owning the license for the Smurfs saw this and were pretty happy, even if this game is absolutely ridiculously difficult.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard with some bad design choices, right? But I mean, I think in a way, right, that feels like the same sort of egregious BS, right, that we were conditioned to put up with as kids.
Oh, yeah.
Right, which is different. I mean, there's so much crap we were...
But at the same time, like, there are times that I played bad games and didn't realize they were bad because of how masked they were. I think... But then there were other games that absolutely you could see through that thin veneer and know that they were crap. Like Godzilla 2 for the NES. Here's the deal. Godzilla 1 tricked me and made me think it was a good game. Godzilla 2? Nope. I knew. Oh, I knew. Rocky and Bullwinkle for the NES? We literally returned it because I thought that the game itself, like the programming, was broken. We returned it early from renting it. It just was not playable. Yeah, and Inspector Gadget for the Super Nintendo, some people will argue that it's good, and, you know, as a kid, I believed that it was good. It's got issues, but I think it's fun.
I think if I look at it, I feel like it captures the spirit of Inspector Gadget. Like,
yeah,
legitimately, I feel like it captures, right, what you would expect about Inspector Gadget. Right, what, you know, that doesn't necessarily make it good. It just means I think it captures Inspector Gadget.
Mm-hmm. Or another game that has been sort of featured in some bad video game spots. I'm thinking, what was it? Swords and Serpents? Yeah, Swords and Serpents. What?
Iron Sword or whatever that is?
No. That's Wizards and Warriors. Swords and Serpents is a sort of dungeon crawler game, which I loved as a kid. And really, it's only bad the more that you know it. And when you get to know that game, it is so bad. Like, the core functions don't even work. Yeah, it's BS. But I still loved that game when I was young, and I still think I would enjoy it just because it, like, gets across what it's trying to do. But then again, I also grew up with a lot of Atari games that I played a lot that people look at now and they're like, what the crap is this?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Like Drelbs. Here's the deal. Drelbs is objectively a good game, but it is a fever dream and a half.
I don't know if I would necessarily call it objectively good, right? But I would call it objectively very interesting. Right?
It's objectively good.
I don't think it is.
My gosh, Gene Genie is just trying to get through this collapsing bridge and falls every time, and this is total BS. Welcome to the Smurfs experience, everybody. How do you do it?
You basically have to just run.
Okay, so just run, don't jump?
Pretty much.
Okay. I love it. Oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter because
the timer is running out. Like, the Tim lasts so long, but it's not going to be enough to get through this. And the bunny just hopped on Gene Genie. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this attempt. Luckily, Gene Genie has a couple more lives, so not a huge setback. It's just, you know, whenever you start making progress, you hope that the next level you beat, you get a password. The passwords are way too far apart, like spaced far apart in this game. They're just
like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So people are mentioning in chat that they think Lucky Luke is too good for Kuso. That's not true. It's been in Kuso Grande because it kind of has the same sort of faults as all this.
Yeah, Infogrames, they're endearingly bad, is what I would say. Like, this game is definitely not going to appeal to everybody, but it's something that, like, I could spend a lot of time playing and genuinely enjoy playing, even if it is absolutely brutal in various places. Lucky Luke is very similar, although I'd say that it's, from Infogrames' library, it's a little bit on the better side of things. little bit. Like, not completely there, but a little bit. Oh, Genie got across the bridge.
Yeah, only to not have hit the
Oh
detonator.
no, you didn't hit the detonator, Genie.
But that's all you have to do. Like, literally, just get a little bit of speed up and you'll be fine.
I love it. That's amazing. GG. They're gonna be so... Nah, they're probably gonna be okay with this game.
Yeah, they're gonna be...
A little frustrating, but not a big deal. There we go. Genie learned how to get across the bridge. And
yeah, they're gonna get it set up.
Look, these rocks, these platforms are just BS, okay? Because landing on the platforms is something that is difficult, and that's one of the big flaws that happens with Infogrames a lot, especially for the Super Nintendo games. It's difficult. The platforms are often smaller than they appear. And that's a little bit of the case here. It's not as offensive as the Wizard of Oz, but it is still pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, the Wizard of Oz is real. So now we're on to ice physics.
Whee! Oh no.
You absolutely can fall in those holes, by the way.
I mean, of course you can. It's the Smurfs. Death around every corner, which honestly was kind of true with the Smurfs in general. They were so small, you could just squish. They get squished, they die. Act 11, the mine. Still no password for Genie, but we get a minecart. Oh, this stage is so bad.
Yeah, so now imagine this, then a boss, then this level all over again, essentially, right? In the avalanche level.
So the thing is, you have to learn how to flip switches before you can make any progress on this. And that's a game over.
Yeah.
So it's back to the caves, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, Metanok, you're saying this level isn't really that bad? Yeah, it is. You have to... Because it doesn't come at the beginning of a password. That is, like, the crime here.
Yeah, the crime is not that the level is bad or not, right? The crime is that at this point in time, you've gone through a cave, which is a pain in the butt, right? And then 2 levels of a mountain, which is a pain in the butt, right? And then you get to the mine. And so if you're playing this semi-blind, right? Like even having sort of seen it at this point in time, right? It's real bad.
Yeah. No password after the mountain. Like, if you are going to have a stage where people can burn through lives that quickly, you absolutely have to have a password right before. One strat that may help, that players may wish to consider, and maybe they will if they get back to it, is using pause buffering, because it would absolutely help.
Yep. But yeah, no, this... Like, so even if you say the minecart's not that bad, it's absolutely bad based on where it is. Right? And notice now we're back where we're at. And here's the thing. I was being nice. They're playing on medium difficulty. This is not even hard. And
yeah.
The minecart is also the worst because it's not like I'll use Donkey Kong with the minecart levels for reference. Like you hit something, you like lose a health, right? And with this, you instantly die, right? It doesn't matter how much health you have, you instantly die. And so if you're coming into this like, without losing a life in here, right? Genie's they're gonna have 4 attempts at that, assuming they don't lose a life anywhere else.
Yeah, you can technically get extra lives if you collect enough of the leaves, which you didn't tell them what the leaves do, but I believe it's 15 for 1 life.
20.
Oh, 20? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't tell them. You know what? I'll be honest. I kind of feel like the leaves are self-explanatory, right? It's like that generic sort of pickup on all of that. And so it's rings and coins and leaves. But why not? Right? So they probably assume that they have to get 100 of them, right? Like, who the hell would ever get 100 of these things? And the answer is you don't. It's only like 20, maybe 15. Maybe it differs on difficulty. I don't even know.
Anyways, yeah, Some Girl is a little bit behind Gene Genie at this point. Gene Genie is winning, but again, it doesn't really matter until the end, because as long as Some Girl can get to the minecart stage and make a little bit more progress than Gene Genie had, she will be considered in the lead. Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Right, so the big difference, there we go. I was gonna say the big difference is, you know, how fast can Some Girl figure out you can pick up the sprint?
There we go. Some Girl has figured out picking up the spring. Good. Yeah, the thing is, like, you gave no information.
You know what? Because I went looking, right, to find a manual for this. I was actually going to give out information. I was trying to be nice. And I couldn't find one. And I wasn't going to buy one on eBay. Right, given all this. So I legitimately looked. I really honestly do like trying to give out information, right? You know, because I want them to have the same sort of experiences if you got, like, if you would, you know, rented the game for a weekend or something like that, right? You know, the best definition of any of this I've ever seen, right? The best description of Kuso Grande I've ever seen has come from Puuxel, right? Yeah. And Puuxel's description was, right, this is just like my childhood renting a game and then regretting it, but having being stuck with it for the whole weekend.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, people these days, I'm not sure if you're blessed or cursed. Like, renting games is definitely not a thing anymore.
Unless, is, like, in some extent, like, if you think like the free, you know, when a game is free, like, for the weekend on Steam, kind of the same idea.
Kind of, yeah. And technically, like, you can buy a game and try it for 2 hours on Steam and then get a refund.
That presumes you have money in the first place.
Yep, you gotta have money in the first place, and sometimes you forget. So, Gamefly, nobody uses Gamefly.
I did for a while.
I think I did until like their deal went away, and then it was way expensive.
Yeah, I did when it was like we could essentially have two like Xbox 360 games or PS3, right? You know, kind of that era. When you could have like two of those at once for like $10 a month, it didn't feel so bad.
Yeah. Xbox Game Pass. Dragon Hero is completely right. I've got the Game Pass on PC. I have never had an Xbox. I don't plan on getting an Xbox, but simply put, a lot of games that I want to play show up there eventually, and you know, I'm able to play.
I mean, the risk is like when certain games, you know, come off of it.
Yeah, and then you're like, I want to play it, but it's off of the pass. Now I gotta buy it. But those are usually going to be games that I really want to play more. World of Horror, for example, it was a good way to test it. It came off of Game Pass, and I was like, I love this dev, even if they don't update as often as I would like them to, so I'm going to support them.
I mean, my thing with Game Pass is basically, since it's kind of come out, there's only a few games on it, right, that I could be like, I wanted this game, but I wasn't already going to pick, or, you know, like in retrospect, hey, this is a cool game, but I wouldn't have picked it up when it came out anyway. Right. So like the big ones that I was like, okay, well, this came on Game Pass, would have been like a compelling reason, like Outer Worlds, right, which I like anyway, right? Yeah. I bought it because, right, Forza, right, both Horizon 4 and Horizon 5, which I own both of those.
Okay. See, I didn't. I was thinking about buying Forza, but I was kind of on the fence, and then it came out on Game Pass, and I was like, no, I don't have to spend all my money for a game that I might not play a whole lot.
Like Hot Wheels. So, like, but I either pick up games that I know I'm going to spend a lot of time on when Minicorn goes to bed, or I'm buying a lot of games that I can spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah. Aw, I love it.
Right? Like, I'll be honest, he's actually gotten fairly good for a 6-year-old at driving in Forza Horizon 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like last week, well, I think it was last week when one of the things, right, to do was run over cactuses.
Well, I mean, there was an in-game event where you actually got bonuses for killing the cacti.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
So they had one for like one of the festival things, like all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just gave him the controller and told him to go run over cactuses. I came back in an hour and it was done.
I love it.
Yeah, he thought it was the best thing that had ever happened to him. Like, he had won the lottery because he got to play Forza Horizon 5.
That's
And I won the lottery because
great.
I didn't have to run over cactuses.
I love it. Yeah, honestly. Okay, speaking about kids and letting them just do grinding for you, here's the deal. The amount of times that kids would watch Frozen in a row exceeds the number of cells that are in my brain to keep me sane. Like, seriously, kids will do the same thing over and over and over again forever. And it's just how kids are. So yeah, if they like a mundane task, then let them at it.
You got it, exactly.
Yeah, let them do it.
So, you know, I see chat saying they're being glad and proud to be childless. If people, you know, don't want to have children, that's great. I'm not gonna, right? At the same token, man, I'll tell you what, I love having a 6-year-old.
Honestly, at some point, I think it would be great to have a kid, but it's also something that is not just my decision, and being gay, there are a few other complications in there. But like if for some reason I had family that passed away and they needed somebody to take care of kids, then I would be more than willing to play that part. Anyway, Genie is figuring this out. Well, Ed is dead.
I mean, mostly,
Isn't this like a puzzle maze?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's like you have to sort out, right? You know, which ones do you hit, which ones do you not hit, right? You have to duck to avoid like hitting your head on things.
I'm relatively sure that some of the paths like repeat like a castle maze, but I don't remember completely because this is just total BS. Seriously, just trying to figure out how to get through. Oh, Metanok is saying it loops 3 times. Okay, so I guess it's just that it loops 3 times.
Could be.
Yeah. By the way, the movie that I watched over and over again, specifically we watched the ending over and over again when I was a kid, was Tiny Toon Adventures Summer Vacation, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, or whatever the crap it was. And I know as a kid I pretty much memorized all the songs, like all of them. Happy World Land, Happy World Land, where the fun doesn't stop at only $80 a pop. A beautiful Happy World Land.
We watch a lot of Looney Tunes here in this household.
Yeah.
Right, and it's all Roadrunner and Coyote. Those are the ones he wants to watch, right? So that's what we watch, right? Or Scooby-Doo. And right now we're on the Scooby-Doo that have Scrappy-Doo and Scrappy-Dum.
No, I hate all of those.
Yeah, Scrappy-Doo and Scooby-Dum, and they're all the worst, but that's what we got to do.
Like, Scrappy-Doo was a sin enough, but introducing the others, like, I'm sorry, Scooby, I wasn't ever interested in your extended family, and after they appeared, I never cared. They can just go, like, fall in a hole somewhere. That's fine.
But, you know, it kind of all plays in together, too. My son's a big fan of, like, Hot Wheels and all that, and he has a Mystery Machine Hot Wheels, and it's, like, the best thing.
That's amazing. I love it.
So what's my opinion on Ultra Instinct Shaggy being playable in Warner Smash Brothers? You know what? Go for it. I like Shaggy. You know, so whatever memes you want with Shaggy, go for it.
I just feel like that is going to be another game that I never pick up. Genie got through the minecart? Oh my gosh.
So it's legitimately a repeat like 3 times. So once you figure it out the first time, you can just keep nailing it. So now we have the boss at the volcano. And then Genie should get another password.
Well, I mean, that's assuming Gene gets through the volcano, but it's actually possible. Corndan, I might owe you nothing because you actually didn't accept my bet.
That's true.
You have to go deliver a present to the demons, to the lava demons.
Yeah, so Jokey's special ability, right, are bombs. Which, by the way, will
Genie
damage
is learning.
you.
Yeah.
But so this level, if I recall, is basically just a race.
Yeah,
right.
Essentially, go faster than the lava. This is Toxic Tower, Smurf style.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Smurfs cook so fast. Wonder how they
Well, I mean,
taste.
it's lava, right? I mean, lava. You know, lava cooks anything pretty fast.
I mean, if you submerge yourself in lava, yeah, but lava is very viscous.
Well, sure, but you know, when you're
Oh my gosh, Genie, this is a game over, and
you're about to go to the mine level,
and I'm still gonna win my bet that you didn't accept. Maybe. There's still enough time to get back there.
Let's see how some girl goes with the minecart level.
Some girl is getting fairly close to that, but oh my gosh. Why don't you take a break now? Shut up, nerd. Wow. You know, Papa Smurf always says if you smurf too long, you'll ruin your Smurf sight. Yeah, blow him up! Yes! That's hilarious. I love it. And it's even better to blow up the annoying one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What do people think, though? Smurfs are blue, and I can only really think of one thing that, like, could technically be blue when you, like, eat it that's meat.
I thought you were gonna say you could only think of one thing that's blue, right, in all of this, and I can only eat right.
There's only one blue thing in this world.
I'm not gonna finish my comment. Just know there's.
Oh my gosh, Gordon! No, bad. You're going to Kuso jail.
What are you gonna do? Throw me in prison jail again?
You know it. Gotta go back. Smurfs are green. Adjust your TV. Oh my gosh. Here's the deal, everybody. I'm a bit colorblind, but Skeeter on Doug always looked green to me, but they always called him the blue guy. But he was more like bluish green, right? It's just that the way that my eyes see, he looked on, like, on the scale of what I would call green. You know,
I'm legitimately surprised, right? You know, with everything going on, that you know, with all of your stuff, have you seen or tried the like the sunglasses that filter out certain?
I want to try those. I want some of those sunglasses.
A lot of people see color.
I want to see them. I want to do that. Somebody give me those glasses because they're too expensive.
You know, I mean, legitimately, they're not as expensive as I thought they'd be.
I haven't looked recently, but yeah, I would love a pair of those glasses.
I looked. So, fun fact: every single boss I've ever had has been colorblind, which is real weird, right?
For some reason, I was thinking like the lava monster was colorblind.
No. Like my boss at work, right? My boss at work.
Yeah.
Every single one's been colorblind, and so one of them looked into it, and he said that. Right, I mean, they're not, the glasses are expensive, right? But when he looked, it was like $400. And you can get them in prescription versions. And you know, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, $400 isn't so bad.
Okay, maybe another time. once I get rich off of Kuso bucks, which isn't this month, I gotta send the portion of my money to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And due to everybody helping out with that, thank you everybody who helped. But yeah, it's... And then vacation, oh my gosh, yeah. And then medical bills are gonna start showing up. Corn Dad, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Everybody wants my money.
Everybody wants my money too. We had to take our cat to the vet.
Oh
And
no.
then he had to go to the vet hospital.
Oh. But yeah, one thing that's strange is that, you know, it's actually impossible for me right now to imagine colors that I'm unable to see. It's even if I sit around and like think a whole bunch, it just isn't something that is thinkable.
Sure,
until you've, you know, unless you there are only a few ways to see things that you are just absolutely unable to see, and let's just say they very vivid dreams can help. We'll call them dreams, but it definitely requires having an extended imagination in order to get to that point.
Yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, like, how do you imagine something you've never been able to experience ever, right? Like, that's really difficult.
I've finally have been able to sort of imagine how the fourth dimension could hypothetically look, and that was a very weird day for me. Okay, a very strange day. But yeah, as soon like because our eyes see the limitations that they have, and our brain specifically processes those limitations and understands the world through that, it's just very difficult to actually imagine things without those limitations. So if I got those glasses and was able to see like new colors that I haven't seen before, I'm so excited.
My heart.
Very, very close. Some girl will probably get it this time and then die twice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Probably.
I know how it goes. But yeah, I feel like as soon as I can see something that is less limited than what I'm able to see right now, I'm just really curious what it looks like. Anyway, there you go. Somebody should let me borrow their nerd colorblind glasses.
Well, I mean, I would lend you mine, except I'm not colorblind.
So why do you need them?
I don't have
Then
them.
why do you have them?
I don't.
Wait, so they're not yours?
They're not mine.
You
no.
lied to me. I'll lend you my colorblind glasses, except
Well,
I'm
sure,
not
if I had-
colorblind.
I'd lend them to you if I had them.
Yeah. You're just trying to trick me. I see how it is.
Is it possible to even avoid being hit by the butterflies? Yes, and you just have to be careful. I mean, at the same token, if you're able to just like, you know, go through all that section without too much difficulty, just take the hit from the butterflies and keep moving on. Well, dude, my boss didn't buy him either, right? So he doesn't have him either. He just looked at it, right? Because we brought him up to him one day and he looked into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Things like that really fascinate me, like, because I just can't imagine.
I actually love the
Additional
idea
colors.
of them and how that works, right? Because what it means, right, when we talk about color blindness, right, is not that, right, it's not like a genetic problem with your eyes. It's just more problem with your brain being dumb. Which
Wait,
I find
really?
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so
I thought it had to do with the rods and the cones and the cylinders.
no,
No?
those all work fine.
It's just my brain's dumb?
Yeah.
Why is my brain dumb?
I don't know, but so the way and it's
gosh.
not true for every single type of color blindness. There are types of color blindness where there is like a legitimate failure in rods and cones and stuff. But for most types of color blindness, the your brain messes up in processing, and so it has a hard time separating out at kind of the fringes of things, and it doesn't know what to do. So you get like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. But what the glasses do, they don't do anything special. They're literally filters at very specific wavelengths, right? So you're not going to get like every green or whatever it is, but you're going to get almost all of them. And whatever it is, your brain now goes, oh, I see the difference now. That's green, and that's this.
If you wear them long enough, will your brain like start?
That I don't know.
Okay, somebody needs to get me those glasses, and I will wear them for a year straight.
Some girl
will do
ends
science.
up slipping on the edge there.
She be slipping.
Yeah.
This game is really difficult, though. Like for real. Yeah. Does anybody want to do science with me? Buy me those glasses. I will wear them. Actually, it would probably like hurt my head. Like especially wearing headphones. I already have glasses, and the headphones push the glasses into my head.
So what you would do is you could get these in prescription glasses. They would replace your normal glasses.
Ooh. Okay, I'm basically blind without my glasses anyway, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be just like getting like safety glasses or anything else in that matter, right? You would just get prescription colorblind glasses.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. What's up with like my body like just barely trying to function like a human being? I'm colorblind. My eyes don't like to see things. My liver apparently hates me. My guts are trying to escape from every hole that they can, and then my brain's like, hey, I don't pay attention to stuff. You got ADHD, man. And then my brain's also like, wow, I am sad that I can't pay attention to stuff, even though I specifically don't do it. I'm sad because because of myself. No stupid
this
brain.
Is probably going to be the last thing here. If some girl makes it across this time.
Oh, she's there.
No, she slipped.
Wait, what? This is illegal.
Yeah, like it's real bad.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and say that some girl had a very genuine, fun shot, but Genie definitely won there. Yeah, like if you slip, you die or get hurt.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Genie got hurt right before the exit sign right there.
Yeah, running on that or whatever hurts you.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
I mean, we know what's going to happen, right?
What?
I think, right, like this is over. I want to see where Genie gets to, but we're essentially done here.
Yep. We know Genie will take the victory here for sure. Oh, bonking into the wall there. That's okay. The minecart stage is just absolutely dumb anyway.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if... Nah, I'd say this is worse than Tasmania, honestly. Like, Tasmania, at least it makes sense.
Well, that's questionable.
Like, you... Yeah, okay. I don't know.
But I mean, it clearly makes sense enough it got into GDQ this year.
Well, that's the Game Gear version, which is the superior question mark version. It's definitely the soundiest version.
For some definition of sound, yes.
Yeah, it's got audio. Oh, Railcoon, one of the experts on Tasmania Genesis is here. Yeah, Railcoon. They're just fantastic at playing video games, especially Tasmania. But yeah, Tasmania is actually very easy compared to the Smurfs for Super Nintendo, because this game, like, again, I predicted no additional password, though Genie could
we still got, like,
potentially
2
see it.
minutes left.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes, okay. We should have agreed on, like, you owing me something. Sunglasses, I guess. Yeah, that's right. You'll owe me some cool shades.
Well, let's see here. Let's see if we can beat the volcano here.
We've got a minute and a half. Come on, Jokey Smurf. Take the president, blow up all of these geological features. Oh, thank you, Infernal Translator, for gifting a sub to Railcoon. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you. But, you know, I feel like doing this should be a crime, okay? Absolutely need to go to jail for destroying the environment, and even if the environment is going to blow up anyway right now.
Smurfs are not Captain Captain Planet. It's fine.
Is this Flight of the Bumblebees?
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Genie is like, I might as well just take damage. That it's a better option, I'd say. About boss stuff, maybe. Let's see. I thought that was the end of the level, and I thought we were going to see a password right then. But I don't think there's enough time, Corn Dan.
Well, let's find out. Let's let it go. They've got it figured out.
Yeah, they're doing great. 10 seconds left. Is that going to be enough to beat the volcano?
Probably not.
Oh. 8. And there's the hour, but I'm still going to keep watching.
Let's just... Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I mean, it's Tim. But for me, it's more than that.
I mean, we're almost there.
Oh my gosh. Heck yeah.
Oh, let's hope Gene finishes it off just to...
I'm bringing some girl in, by the way. Hello, some girl.
Hello.
Oh, seriously. Hey, Genie beat the level. No, JK, there's more.
There's a boss now.
Oh, well, let me go ahead and bring Genie in as well. Hello, both of you, and great job today. This was a lot of fun to watch. I love the Smurfs on Super Nintendo.
Oh, my heart is racing.
You what?
Heart's racing.
Oh, your heart's racing? Oh, seriously, though, you both had really good pushes, although I feel like this game clicked a lot more with Genie than it did Some Girl. Genie, you made it all the way to the volcano. Some Girl, you were right at the very end of the stupid mountain stage when you slipped, and slipping deals damage.
Yes, I figured that out, like, a little, but you can't jump without slipping, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, you can. Don't run.
I was not running when I died at the end.
What you have to do is sort of like jump and land at a slower velocity, a slower horizontal movement in the game. So, you know, if you jump straight down onto ice in real life, you don't slip. It's the same in Smurfs.
Wait, I won?
Yes, G,
Yeah.
you won. You were, because after that
This whole
mountain
time
stage,
I thought I was behind because I couldn't find any other passwords.
No,
once you finish the volcano, you'd have gotten another password.
Yep, we were taking a bet on whether or not either of you would get another password, and I bet no. And I was right, because like this game is overly cruel for how spaced out the passwords are. Seriously, I think it's like 4 levels in between in most of the cases. It's a choice that Infogrames made, and it wasn't the best choice in the world. So yeah,
okay.
Go ahead and tell some girl. I want to hear your thoughts about the game because I think you really got the hang of the cave pretty quickly. The next stage was a big pain in the butt. What are your thoughts about the game from what you experienced?
I didn't totally hate it.
That's glowing praise in my book.
The only thing that was really bad was the ice, like you said.
So that's the second time that comes up. So literally the first time that the slip physics come up are like 10 seconds into the very first level. So the game just presumes you'd know.
Yeah, but I
didn't worry about
at
it
the
that
same
much.
time, it's not very clear in the first level. It takes you a long time in level 1 to
it's
learn
not clear
how to
in
deal
level
with
1
slipping.
It is not clear in level 1 either. I played like an hour of this game before I knew about that mechanic.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Was the minecart stage a gauntlet state?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I might have seen that.
Okay. I don't think the minecart was. I think
we
it was
had
one
it
year.
one time. Yeah, I think it was either for the GDQ gauntlet or
maybe.
Yeah, I definitely know we had it.
We had the avalanche state, which would have been the next level after you finally beat this dragon. That one's definitely been a gauntlet state before.
Yeah, this game is, oh my gosh. You haven't even seen like the levels that really make me angry in this game. Because Infogrames' biggest sin is that the levels are just too difficult for how spaced apart the passwords are. If you can get past that and kind of and the game becomes enjoyable, but I think that is one of the biggest difficulties.
I mean, I don't know. The start of Volcano is making me a bit angry.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Those falling platforms at start, that's just rude.
Oh my gosh, some girl. So the volcano stage is essentially like toxic towers in Donkey Kong Country 2. Lava is rising and you have to escape from the volcano, and guess what? There are platforms that you can jump on that fall, and if they fall, you're not going to be able to get them to respawn. So you're just kind of dead.
That sounds fun.
No, it's not great. You were so close to the minecart stage. You would probably hate it, because I think it's so dumb.
I hate it.
Yeah. Genie, as soon as Genie got there, they basically died 3 times in a minute and got a game over. It was great.
I eventually figured it out.
Oh yeah. The next time that you got there, you definitely figured it out. It was cool to watch you figure it out that quickly. I was shocked.
Thankfully, there's a slowdown button, so
yeah. Anyways, I fully recommend, if you get a chance, play more of this game, because Infogrames games just made me feel emotions that I haven't really felt with video games before. Joy, terror, rage, all of them.
Yeah, I think it definitely kind of suffered a bit from us starting in the middle and not really knowing what was going on, all the mechanics and all that stuff.
Not really.
The only mechanic you missed out on was the slip mechanics in level 1. Everything else, you figured out.
No, so my other problem actually is I didn't realize there was a run button until like 20 minutes into the race.
It's just, oh my gosh. Okay, it's just
It didn't
why.
look faster. The animation was the same. It didn't look any faster to me. Then I kept dying because I wasn't jumping high enough. So like, I don't understand.
To be fair, right, I played for like an hour without knowing about it either. And got through like the first boss.
This is a
Right,
lesson to everybody. Always try holding the button that would make sense to be the run button, and just see if it does something different. I would say that this is a little bit more excusable than when Maikuyama committed that same thing where it was very visible if you held the button. Yeah, if the animation doesn't change, it's not super obvious.
Honestly, I did look for a manual for you guys and couldn't find one. Unless I wanted to buy it on eBay, and I wasn't about to.
Yeah, and some girl, I would say that
spring was also unintuitive. I got a little stuck on that too.
Oh, which part?
Picking up the spring.
Oh, yeah.
Press down on the D-pad.
Oh my gosh, you're bringing
Yeah, I
back
had to figure
memories
that
of.
out eventually.
You're bringing back memories of Tintin in Tibet, because there are certain things that you have to pick up in that Super Nintendo game. That guess what? It took me about 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah.
I remember watching that match. Wasn't that like Kuso2, you against
Something like that.
Author Blues, I think?
I think it was just a grudge match. And yeah,
Okay.
Author Blues won.
Yeah, I just remember y'all being stuck on trying to pick up the box for like 40 minutes.
Well, I didn't even think about picking up the box because it didn't look clear. And then finally, when I figured out that you could, I couldn't figure out where the box should go. Oh my gosh. That game made me so angry.
It's so good.
But yeah, you fell victim to many of Infogrames' curses. But seriously, this was a lot of fun to watch. Some girl, you will be going to the losers bracket, but honestly, you're still a strong contender. Having won last year, you know, I could still see you going a significant way through this. Genie, yeah, you overthrew last year's champion, so kudos to you.
Guess I broke more brackets.
Yeah, I think you broke mine, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked. My bracket just keeps getting broken. That's how it looks. I think I have you towards the end of Kuso Grande, some girl though. So I need you to hold on. Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
Good. All right. Thank you both so much, Corndan. Thank you as well. All of you take care. Have a great rest of your day, okay?
Thank you too.
Have a good
Thanks for
day.
having us.
Bye! Oh, yeah, everybody, seriously, this was a match between two extremely strong players. Gene has made it towards the end of Kuso Grande as well, so I am not surprised they took the victory. I wouldn't necessarily call it an upset, but it was really, I don't know, it's always fun to see two players of this caliber go up against each other. It's just that the Smurfs worked for one person a little bit more than the other. I wouldn't say that it is a gauge of their skill at playing games. Blah, 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 blah. It's just playing specifically Infogrames can be difficult. Up next, we have another game in the Iron GM. I believe this is one of our final Iron GM games. It would have possibly been the last, except, you know, we had a tube and bin. So stay tuned, and I will run an ad and be setting up for that. See you in about 1 minute. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Wait, are you voting on underwear? Oh my gosh, I want to vote. No, that's not underwear. Those are pants. Never mind. I don't want to vote on pants. It was underwear. Yeah, that'd been fun. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that sneeze. It just